Subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update. Join the only official Telegram channel of RAU'S IAS Study Circle to get relevant material and important updates.
Hello everyone and welcome to Daily News Simplified, your one-stop solution to detailed analysis of current affairs which are published in the Delhi edition of Hindu newspaper. Articles dated 21st of August 2021 are listed on your screen, and the timestamping for these articles is already given in the description box. So let us begin with the first article itself. So before starting any discussion for today, I would like to make a note that most of the articles which we are discussing today are related to the prelims examination and mostly factual basis. So let's start with the first one. This article was published on page 10 of Delhi edition Hindu newspaper and talks about the recent initiative undertaken by Geological Survey of India in order to bring more geo-tourism in northeastern India. The context of the article says that Geological Survey of India has identified certain geological sites in northeast part of India for the development of geotourism. Now these are 12 new sites and they will be developed for geotourism and as geoheritage site along with the existing 32 sites. Now the relevance of this article is straightforward. What are these geotourism sites? Or what are these geoheritage sites, how many of them are there in the country, how they are distributed, that means how many sites are there in which states. This factual information is important from prelims perspective. However, learning these names are not at all important. But before that, let us go into what is the background of Geological Survey of India. Well, this survey was set up in 1851, that is by East India Company. Because before 1858, the rule was under the British East India Company and not the British Crown. So this was set up way back in 1851 to find out coal deposits for railway. Now what is geological survey? Geological survey here means that a dedicated survey which is conducted in order to find out the type of geology, that what is the kind of stones which are found in a particular place, what is the soil type, what are the different minerals and whatnot. And because of these surveys, sometimes this Geological Survey of India find out some unique places. Maybe some fossil park, maybe a different stone or related mineral in a particular place, maybe a different geology altogether. And because of that, they declare these important sites as national geological monuments. And through this article, we have come across to the news that they are now going to add 12 more in the list of 32, and these 12 will be from Northeast India. The functions of the GSI are straightforward. They work to create and update the national geoscientific information and the information related to the mineral resources. So if they say that in a particular place, let's say in the western Rajasthan, there are evidences of oil, then the private players can go there and they can dig up the oil. If they say that at a particular place in southern India there are evidences of gold, so government can take up that activity and go for gold mining. So this institute actually provide the first-hand information through conducting geoscientific surveys. They also conduct for ground surveys, airborne surveys, and in fact the marine surveys, the most important being the oil related surveys. They also investigate and prospect the other minerals. They work in the multidisciplinary geoscientific manner. They have geotechnical information. They also work for the geo-environmental concerns as well as the natural hazards. Let's say one of the survey of Geological Survey of India says that in the state of Bihar or maybe the state of Jharkhand, there might be a case of landslides or maybe the land subsidence because of excessive coal mining. So these kind of information can help us to be preventive when it comes to the natural disaster. They also work on the glaciology, the most important being the descending of the glaciers in the Himalayas. They also work on the seismotectonic studies which help us in identifying the earthquake hazardous areas in the country, and they also conduct many other fundamental research. So all these activities are under the Geological Survey of India, which has helped many other departments for their functioning. The headquarters of GSI is in Kolkata and it is functioning under the Ministry of Mines. Now let us move into the important place which was mentioned in the article. This place was Unnakoti district of Tripura. Now why this district is important and why this photograph was given in the newspaper? Well, there is an ancient Shaivite place of worship with a huge rock relief which are celebrating Lord Shiva along with goddess Durga, Kartikeya and Ganesha. It is a prime tourist spot in the Unnakoti district of Tripura. The name of this district was given after the Unnakoti hills. It is found in the northeastern part of the Tripura state and known for this rock-cut Shaivite architecture. On the left side you can see there is a figure of Lord Shiva with his third eye as the important evidence. On the right side you can see there are many elements which shows the structure of Lord Ganesha. So if the question comes in the prelims examinations, so you should know that in Unnakoti hills there is a Shaivite rock-cut architecture and it is an important place. This place is going to be part of those 12 places which will find mentioned in the National Geological Monuments. Now let us move to what geological monuments are. Well, as per the National Geological Survey of India, there are a number of sites which have different relevance for the geology. This include your eco-geo monuments, fossil parks, geological marvels, rock monuments in which now Unnakoti will be part of. They also include your stratigraphy monuments and lastly stromatolite parks. These are the different regions, we need not to remember them, but this classification is important. As you can see, the highest number of sites are there in the state of Rajasthan. The second highest is found in the fourth southern state and now the third highest will be given in the northeastern part. It simply means that most of the states in India do not even have a single site for geological importance. And among these we have Madhya Pradesh, we have Uttar Pradesh, we have states like Punjab, Himachal, we have union territories of Ladakh, Jammu and Kashmir and whatnot. But given this, we also should know some of the important sites. I have taken an important site known by the name Fossil Park. It is there in the state of Rajasthan, that is on the western side of Rajasthan in the district of Jaisalmer. This place is known for the rock fossils. These are the small rock fossils which were found during this survey and they have been preserved in a dedicated museum. Apart from this map, let us go through the important sites of geological importance. Well, these are the geological heritage sites or the National Geological Monuments. Most of these monuments are in the state of Rajasthan, which we have already discussed. However, there are other places also. The best evidence to identify whether a place is geological heritage site or not is to go through the terms. All the places which are mentioned in this list and the next list will have one or the other geological forms. Now let us see how. Let's take the first one. Volcanogenic. Volcanogenic means, of course, these are the stones. The stones means geology. Let's take another example. We have laterite. Laterite is a soil which is derived from the stones. Hence, again, we come to geology. Same is true with the sedimentary rocks. We also have stromatolite fossil park. We also have granite related places. So one way or the other, if there is a place which is mentioned in the question, you will easily be able to identify whether this place is related to geology or not. Because one way or the other, that place will have some relevance from the perspective of stones. Similarly, we have places in the other states also. Here also you will find the names which are related to the geology. Let's say we have igneous, we have places related to faults, we have lunar lake, we have names on the basis of lava, we have names on the basis of gneiss, we have places related to iron ore belt, we also have places related to limestone and dolomite. So you need not to remember the names of these places. However, you should remember that they are directly or indirectly related to the stones or geology. That way you will be able to identify and eliminate if the question arises in the prelims examination. So these are total 32 sites, 12 more will be added. Together they will be 44. These 12 will be from the northeastern state. With this discussion in place, so I will leave you with this question for the prelims perspective. So read this question carefully and answer in the comment box. Let us now move to the next article for the day. This article also was published on page 10 of Delhi edition Hindu newspaper and talks about the recent initiative undertaken by the government of Odisha in order to provide health benefits to the poor people. The context says that a separate scheme with the name Biju Swasthya Kalyan Yojana was launched by the Chief Minister of Odisha for the treatment in a hospital up to 5 lakh rupees. Now, this may seems like National Health Protection Scheme, which is provided by the National Health Authority under Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. However, there are certain differences in this scheme. What are those? And why we need to read a particular scheme of a particular state? The answer comes from this question which was asked by the UPSC in 2015. In this question, UPSC clearly asked about that particular state where there is a possibility of constructing an artificial inland port was taken up. The answer to this is Rajasthan, of course, because Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka are coastal states, and because of being coastal they would not require inland port. Hence you can clearly eliminate these two options, and if you do not know anything about the news, you can take 50% chances in this kind of questions. However, this brings us to an important conclusion that UPSC can also ask some of the initiative at the state level. And this is the reason why we have taken up this scheme. So we will take up this scheme in very short and brief manner. The treatment reimbursement can be up to 5 lakh rupees per annum. This can be availed in 200 hospitals across the nation. Well, this is the important thing. Across the nation here means that a person who is a resident of Odisha can also avail the hospitalization and the medical treatment across 200 hospitals. Many of them could be even outside the state of Odisha. So if a person is from Odisha but right now living in, let's say, Delhi, Uttar Pradesh or Rajasthan, can also avail these kind of benefits in a cashless manner. The second important thing of this important scheme is that when it comes to the women, the treatment is not limited to 5 lakh rupees, but it has been extended to 10 lakh rupees, which is also a good sign when it comes to the women empowerment. Because when it comes to the health related issues, women require more attention than the men because of the reproductive health and of course their maternal health. It is a no-frill system, hence a person only need to carry a particular certificate in order to avail this benefit. It will also cover about 3.5 crore people of this state, which is a very high number when it comes to the accessibility. So in that manner, this scheme becomes a unique one and requiring special attention. With this discussion in place, let us now look into the important question which is attached to this article. So read this question carefully and answer in the comment box. With this, now we will move to the next article for the day. This article was published on page 5 of Delhi edition Hindu newspaper and talks about the recent initiative which was undertaken by the Union government in order to revive the national mission on edible oils, including oil palms. However, this article has already been covered by us on 19th of August 2021. So in order to learn more about this particular scheme, you can go through this article and learn more. But the one thing which we have not covered in that article is related to the geographical aspect of oil palm, which is the relevant of this article today. This scheme is also part of the Union government's initiative to provide 11,040 crore rupees in order to cover the oil palm production and its cultivation. Kerala is a state which has the most potential for being the highest producer of palm oil in India. Now the question is why? Why Kerala is the most potential area when it comes to the palm oil? Even in the Kerala, we have Wayanad and Palakkad district which have the highest potential to be the leader when it comes to the palm oil. Now the relevance of this is very straightforward because agriculture is important from your prelims as well as your mains perspective, irrespective of what topic is there in the news article. So agriculture is important, trend in agriculture is important, and important crops are also very important. The relevance can come from the question which was asked in 2019 where UPSC clearly asked about the largest exporter of rice in the world. The answer to this question is straightforward, that is India. And it also teaches us one important thing, that crops which are part of India's agriculture and their trend is important. And that is the reason we should learn more about the palm oil and its future perspective in India. Why Kerala is important site for palm oil? The reason being simple. In the world, we all know that Malaysia and Indonesia are the largest producer of palm oil. Both these nations are at the equatorial region. And this equatorial region and the environment around the equator is one of the important reasons for the growing and cultivation of palm oil. As Kerala is also closer to the equator region and the state has similar precipitation and temperature related aspects, Kerala becomes an important area and a potential site for higher palm oil production in the country. Palm oil is grown in the humid climate. So we cannot grow palm oil in the states like Haryana, Punjab or even the northern state, which are lying in the temperate zone. So it is a humid tropical crop, hence need to be closer to equator. It requires a rainfall of 150 centimeter and above. So despite Tamil Nadu being on the similar latitudinal areas, Tamil Nadu is not that much suitable for the palm oil because of the low level of rainfall. The temperature requirement is 22 to 32 degrees Celsius. So states like Madhya Pradesh, Uttar Pradesh and even Rajasthan and Bihar, where temperature can exceed up to 45 degrees Celsius, are not suitable for this cultivation. It also requires 5 to 6 hours of bright sunlight and 80% or even more humidity with a soil type which can have higher organic matter. And because of the high vegetation in the state like Kerala, we have high organic matter in the soil. And because of the same reason, Kerala is a state which have very high humidity. And after culminating all these reasons, we come to a conclusion that Kerala is a state which has highest potential to be a site for the palm oil cultivation, production and even the domestic consumption. So given this discussion in place, let us now move to the important question attached to this article. So read this question carefully and answer in the comment box. With this, now we will move to the next article for the day. So the last article for today's discussion is the scheme of the day. We have taken this article because as the gold prices are fluctuating to a record level, government has been appreciating and has been providing more awareness program to the citizens of the country in order to invest more on the gold monetization scheme as well as the sovereign gold bond scheme. And because of that, it becomes important for us to understand these two schemes and identify the basic differences between them. When it comes to the historical aspect, well, gold monetization scheme was made as a replacement of the existing gold deposit scheme. This gold deposit scheme was there for a long time now, but government wanted to revamp this scheme with a new initiative and with new extension. On the other hand, sovereign gold bond scheme is a altogether new investment option. This was nowhere to be seen in the past in India's financial markets. When it comes to the eligibility, well, all the resident Indians, including your Hindu undivided families, trust, including your mutual funds, ETFs, that is exchange traded funds, which are registered under the SEBI, are eligible to invest. On the other hand, in the sovereign gold bond, apart from the resident Indians and Hindu undivided families, we have charitable organizations which are equally eligible. When it comes to the investment process, under gold monetization scheme, original gold ornaments are melted and purified, and after the purification they are assessed by an institution. This assessment provides a certificate to the holder, and this certificate is used for opening a gold saving account. On the other hand, there is no physical form of gold under sovereign gold bond scheme. Under this scheme, we have bonds, that is a financial paper, which is issued to the investor in the paper or the demat format. And under sovereign gold bond, an investor will never had a physical form of gold under their possession. When it comes to the minimum and the maximum limit, 30 grams under the gold monetization scheme and 2 grams under sovereign gold bond scheme. When it comes to the maximum one, there is no limit under the monetization scheme because you can utilize your an amount of gold which you are as of now holding. So there is no upper limit for that. However, under sovereign gold bond scheme, we have 500 per person per fiscal year. This is per person, not related to the charitable organization or the other trust. The maximum tenure of the gold monetization scheme is just 1 year against the 8 years under the bond, because bond is taken for the long term investment. Hence the duration is beyond 5 years. The other classification between these schemes include redemption, that is taking back the investment fund, is permissible, however with a penalty. Under the sovereign gold bond, there is exit option only from the 5th year. That is, in the first 4 years, there is no option to exit the scheme. The interest rate among both the schemes are more or less same. It is between 2.25% to 2.75%. When it comes to the taxation, well, under monetization schemes, there is no capital gain tax. However, when it comes to the bonds, there will be tax treatment which will be same as that of the physical gold. So given all these differences, we come to a conclusion that both these schemes provide different opportunities to the investors. One for those who have the gold with them, so they can use the gold monetization scheme, and the one who do not have gold with them but wants to take the benefit of gold price fluctuations and a regular interest payment. For them, we have sovereign gold bond scheme. So in order to diversify and generate depth in the gold market, government has rolled down both these schemes. With this discussion in place, let us now move to the question of the day.